Opening up your heart can be scary and nerve-wracking and exciting all at the same time. So it's important that we are first confident in ourselves before we go investing in other people. And in the spirit of today, we wish you a very happy Valentine's Day from myself and author and life coach, Mandy Morris. Mandy, thanks for being here.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
No doubt. And I'm super excited to talk about all of the expertise you have to offer us. So before we kind of make that laundry list, right, of things to fix, where do we start mentally?
So a huge piece, and I like to flip this upside its head a little bit. When we look at unblocking our heart or creating what we want in life, we think that we have to be a certain type of person, right? I know for myself, I was like, I must love myself before I can have a relationship. And thank goodness that's not true. So the first piece is, what rules do you have around what you want and what rules can you break?
And some ways that you found personally to work to kind of anchor those insecurities, because I mean, we all have them, right? So what are some ways that you found to be helpful?
I like to kind of put it up on a board. I say, take 5 steps back, get curious, don't get emotional. I don't want to sit there and judge myself, and emotions literally create manifestations. So if I'm sitting there saying, I can't do this, I can't have this, I want this soulmate, I want the beautiful things in life, and I can't create it, well, then obviously it's self-defeating, but I need to understand why I think the way that I do. And so taking those 5 steps back and getting curious about, okay, instead of me freaking out, like, why? Why do I think the way I do? What do I come from? What things are unhealed in me? And so I like to write down like maybe 3 things. So let's say if I'm going for love, I'll be like, okay, what are my rules on love? What does my past say my rules are around love? Because that's the tricky part. We'll be like, love is beautiful, love is kind. And then we look at our relationships, we're like, well, they sucked. So that was probably a lie. So then we have to go, okay, what's my actual beliefs? And maybe, rules and beliefs are really interchangeable here. What do I actually believe about this thing? And then what needs to break? And so I like to do that in all areas of my life, but especially I did that with love. And thank goodness I got a husband today.
Oh, well, I wish you a very congratulations on that. And let's talk about dating now in the digital age. How have things changed for people?
Gosh, like every time that someone comes to me and they're like, that's all I want. I want love. I want a real relationship, help me find it. And I'm like, so let's talk about you. It has nothing to do with moving forward. It is actually looking back. And so I use that with manifestation too. It's not about how do I manifest? It's what's causing me to not do so. So insert relationships. Okay, well, what's causing me to find these dysfunctional relationships? Or how do I move forward in a very digital world, especially after COVID is hit and everyone's like, how do we even get to know each other anymore? I mean, I'm still socially awkward from COVID, let alone if I had to find a relationship, forget about it. So I would kind of look back and be like, okay, so what has changed in me, not about the world, but what has changed in me? What am I truly looking for? And also, I always say this, like, sometimes we're looking for like the perfect relationship, or we are looking for all the boxes, but we really need to figure out what those boxes are and if they're realistic, not from a way of, okay, give up what you want, but realize that you might have to grow into it with a partner versus they better meet it all like right up front.
So let's talk about, like you said, get curious, not emotional. I really like that. Would it help to kind of bring people who know you really well into that conversation, or would you recommend maybe doing this just solo?
Yes and no. It depends on who you surround yourself with, right? Because let's say that you've got that girlfriend or that friend that you can sit there and have a glass of wine with, or go out to the bar with, or get into trouble with. I don't know if that's the best person to ask, but someone who does know you and genuinely wants the best for you. So accountability, even when it comes to trying to find a relationship, is so important and so beautiful. But just make sure that you're like, am I taking advice from people who have the relationship I would like? Or do they know, and are they willing to tell me the parts of myself that maybe I'm trying to hide?
That's a great point. I think it's really easy with COVID, especially at kind of masking the real you, no pun intended, right?
Right.
So just showing your creative side and your uniqueness, what importance would you put on that?
I mean, authenticity is literally my brand. So you're speaking to the right person, right? I know for myself, like when I first met my husband, who was first, obviously, boyfriend and my best friend, I didn't know that we were remotely going to end up where we are today. I was like, for once, I'm just going to let someone really see me. That doesn't mean that I'm going to stay in the perceived ugliness or brokenness that I thought I was in, which wasn't, but I am going to be honest. I'm not in the honeymoon stage. I'm over that stuff. I've been through enough dysfunctional relationships. And I hate when you get 3 months in and you're like, who are we even? I don't know who you are. And I pretended to be someone else. And so I think a huge piece is bringing forth, like, here is who I am. Here is what I am growing through, not going through, but growing through. And, do you want to partner up on it? And I think that when we're looking for long lasting relationships, we don't need to like dump that on someone straight away. But, just being honest, like, here's where I'm at, and we see a lot of people do that with great success, but it's not so much hard on the line, but just I'm authentic. This is who I am. And I like it, and I'm learning and I'm growing. And do you want to be a part of that?
Amazing. Well, I really love it. Thank you so much, Mandy. We're getting curious, we're being authentic, and we're getting back out there.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Yes, and for more information to find your book, where can they find it?
So 8secrets.com, keep it super simple, and it's the numeric. So 8secrets.com.
Terrific. Well, I hope you have a great Valentine's Day with your hubby. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.